I coach this game for a living. I taught thousands of students, got people, so many people from Division 10 to Elite Division. And then one question I always asked is, bro, I'm in Division 8, I'm watching this, and I have Team of the Year Pele. But for some reason, a lot of these players, and you could be one watching this video right now, they think that their team means if they are good or not. Team is irrelevant. An example, it's just an example from a game that I played. This part of my Division 10 to Elite Division series. You can see this full video, by the way, on my Patreon series. But you can see here, this was only recorded a week ago. And you can see, look, this is the team that I'm using. It's not, half of this team are free players and evolution players that I've done for free. Apart from Dembe that costs like, 250 FIFA points, whatever it was. The rest of the team is free. But you don't need an amazing team to get in the top 10. The example I'll always give you is you're always going to be a Division 10 or a Division 7 player if you don't improve your gameplay. I always give this example. If you watch F1, and let's say, for example, in F1, for those of you that don't know about F1, in general, like a blanket statement, the better car you have, the higher chance you have. It's not like everyone's on the same playing ground. So you could have a better driver in a worse car and they will effectively not perform. But that is the best of the best. So if I've given you, let's say you're the best player in the world, but I've given you a rubbish team, but you're playing against other bad players, then you're going to destroy them. If you give me a 100k team, I would destroy you. But if you gave me a 100k team, but I had to play against top tier elite players, pro players, I will get destroyed also. Team can only get you so far. Now, obviously, if I compare my level, I would say I'm not a professional player. I don't aim to abuse mechanics, but I'm a very high level player, high level elite player. Now, whenever someone else in the elite division and I haven't got the team, because of my level, I can get away with it. But don't get me wrong, those games are extremely sweaty without a good team. But just because you have a good team, if you don't know what you're doing, you're never going to win. So in the example of F1, okay, if I made the fastest car tomorrow that was 10 seconds faster than every other car, and I gave you that car and you drove that race with all the best F1 drivers, you won't even finish in the top 10. Because even though you have the fastest car, you don't know how to drive like an F1 driver. And this is what the biggest misconfusion is. Team can only get you so far. If you don't know how to play the game, you don't know how to defend. It's kind of like if I give you the best boots, if I give you Messi's boots, are you going to play like Messi? No. So every single year, you know how many students I have every single year, they spend thousands of pounds on the game. And that's completely fine. That's their hobby. I spend thousands of pounds on cars, on other stuff, traveling. Some people spend on the game. It's completely up to you where you want to spend your money. I'm not here to talk about that, but I'm here to say they think that spending that money will make them have a better team. That will in turn make them play better. If you want to spend money to have the best team in the game to enjoy the game, then by all means. But if you want to spend money to get the best possible team so you can win more games, trust me, that's not going to help you. And that is where you're going to really understand that at the end of the day, look, and you can see, look there. Maybe you've had a better player that would have scored that goal. Maybe you could argue, right? That was a bit of an unlucky situation. But the point I'm trying to say is, I'm going a bit off topic here, but the point I'm trying to say is team can only get you so far. Okay. You only need, in this Division 10 to Elite Division series, I use this basic team, okay? And then towards the end, I put some some cheap foot birthday cards in, like worth like 50k, like not even Nabri. I use like Rabio. But the reason I'm using this cheap team is to show you don't need to have an amazing team to get to Elite Division. I also show you basic gameplay because if you want to, you can have the best team in the world, or you can mechanic abuse to get to Elite Division. But it's a bit of a cheating. Well, not cheating, but it's a bit of being disingenuous if I use, for example, a 20 mil team to get into the Elite Division. Not everyone can do that. That is why I tried to make this as realistic as possible with free cards that I've chosen. And to be honest, if you've been listening to my advice in terms of gameplay, you should have at least got a pretty decent team with some of the free things available. But in this series, for example, I also teach you how to play. I'd also explain to you mistakes that I make, and you can see sometimes I make mistakes like that, but it's important for you to learn those things. But remember, team can only get you so far. I keep getting this question. Now, does this mean that when team is important, this is what something is very, very important. Try to draw this on the bottom right-hand side of the screen so I don't ruin this, okay? Let's say there's you versus your opponent, okay? So you versus the opponent, right? Let's say, for example, you're both the same level, equal level. That's what's very important here, okay? The most important thing is your equal level. If you're both the same level, and let's say your team you have all 99 rated players, for example, and your opponent has 99 rated players, for example. Then out of this situation, the best player will genuinely win the game here. That's what's the most important. The best player here will genuinely win. Yes, you can get a bit of BS. Something might go in your favor. It might go in your opponent's favor. That's part of the game. It evens itself out at the end of the day. But that's how it's going to be. There's no scripting, no DDA, no nonsense. Listen, let me tell you, no BS. Let me tell you things how it is. Facts. There's no such thing as DDA or scripting or any crap. Let me tell you from someone who knows what they're talking about, not someone that's just saying things to be liked. It's not my job to be liked. It's my job to teach, okay? But let's say, for example, you're both on the same level, but you had, for example, a 90 rated team. I know team rating is not the most important thing, but let's just say hypothetically speaking, or you had all 90 rated stats and this player had all 99, and you're both on the same level, then this is where you add the disadvantage. But the chances of you playing someone on the same level as you is not always that common. There's always going to be someone that's a bit better and it's a bit worse. And that is why gameplay still trumps everything. But let's say, for example, you had a team of 80 pace players and your opponent had a team of 99 pace players, but you were much better than your opponent, then you would win this game. And that is why people, they change tactics every single week because they play against a weaker player and they beat them. But when they use the same tactic against a better player, they lose against them. And let's say they got a rubbish team, they think, oh, it must be my tactics. When it's never this is why I try to explain, even my FC school, FIFA school, tactics can only get you so far. Tactics is 20%, okay? Gameplay is 80%. I would say gameplay, honestly, it's like 80%. Gameplay, and then the other 20% is things like team, it's things like tactics, subs, all that. But the most important thing is gameplay. But that's what I just wanted to mention because everyone keeps asking me this question. Why do I struggle? Why can't I improve? Just because I have a good team, why do I still suck? But team doesn't mean anything. You can even take a real life example. Look at PSG when they had Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. How far did they go in the Champions League? Then have a look before that when they had it with Unai Emery, they almost reached the final. Look at them now. They're doing very well. They're actually doing better without Messi and Mbappe and Neymar in the team. So just because you have a Galactico squad doesn't mean you're going to be a good player. They have to work well in real life. And the same way as yourself, you might want the best, you might choose a 10 million pound player, but that might not be the right player for you. But that's the point I'm just trying to make it in a day. So yes, if you're in Division 7 and you have an amazing team, and you don't know how to play, you're going to stay there forever. You should make that change with gameplay. You watch my videos, they're out there for free. If you're really serious about improving, you want a guaranteed improvement or we'll refund your money, you check out my Patreon series, patreon.com/NealGuides. Or you can just type in NealGuides.com on your browser and I'll tell you information. At the end of the day, remember, team is not the most important thing. It's always gameplay. You can give Lionel Messi bare feet and you can give him the worst ball in the world, okay? You can have the best trainers, you can have the best pitch, you could have the best ball, Premier League ball, you can have shoes perfectly made for you. You're not going to be playing better than Messi, are you? Think about it that way.